Hey now, we are back. I'm not going to do an autograph analysis. Big day. This is like the highlight of my baseball year is when the Hall of Fame Veterans Committee comes out. Not the actual inductees for the writer's ballot, because you can pretty much guess who's going to be, who's going to be on the ballot. And you can take an educated guess just who's going to make it to the Hall of Fame or come close. So what's more fun is these Veterans Committees. And I love them because you never know. I don't want to say it's a secret ballot because they announce who's on the committee, but you never know who they're going to pick or what they're thinking. So for those of you who don't know, yesterday, Jake, thank you very much for alerting me first. Legends Never Die. The Veterans Committee came out with their list of 8. The new updated version, they put out 8 potential, none of them are players, managers, executives, umpires who had contributions post 1980. And on December 7th, I don't know, it's the first Sunday in December during the winter meetings at around 7:30, they're going to get together. And so there's 8 people. And for those of you who don't know how it works, they changed it up a little bit this year. Instead of 10, they have 8. And the 16-player committee is going to be able to vote for a maximum of 3 players each. And you need to get on 12 ballots in order to get into the Hall of Fame. So that means there's 48 ballots out there. So in a perfect world, if everyone came together, they're going to get 4 names into the Hall of Fame. And all realistic, man, if they got 3 in, I would be ecstatic. I think there are some, I don't want to say, there are some very deserving people in there. And we're going to get to the name in a couple of minutes here. But it's exciting for me because as someone who collects Hall of Fame autographs, you go out and you sort of scout out who you think is going to be listed on there. You hope they get their autographs before they get in, because once they get in, obviously they're going to command a premium. So we're going to go down the list. I guessed 6 of 8. When I say guess 6 of 8, that means I have 6 of the 8 autographs, and we'll get to those in a little minute. So again, just looking at the names real quickly right here. And again, this is alphabetical order. Number 1 is Cito Gaston, managed 12 years. First Black manager to win a World Series title. Won 2 World Series. But the man only had 894 wins. I'm sorry. I think every year the Baseball Hall of Fame has to throw some names out there just to balance it out, sort of like to make it a little bit easier for the voters to get people in, so they could say, you know what, we know these players are not going to get anyone. We're going to put them out there. We have to put 8 now, and we're going to put some weak candidates out there so you don't have to vote them, to sort of make it easier for you to vote so you don't have to split as many votes as possible. The next one is Davey Johnson. Again, Davey Johnson, I know him from managing the 86 Mets team to the World Series. Again, 1,372 wins. He's 13th all-time in winning percentage. 1,372 is not one World Series, and 1,372 honestly is not enough for me. They gave him a great Washington Nationals team. Couldn't close the deal with the team. So I just remember thinking, like, man, if this man wins one more World Series, I'm going to have to get his autograph. But he wasn't able to do that. So because of that, I think he's one of those that they just put him on here. I don't think he's going to get much consideration. He was on once before. I think he's going to get 3 or less votes. The next one is Jim Leyland. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. He's near and dear to my heart because he was a skipper for the Tigers. I'm looking right now. I have his All-Star jersey hanging up. Yes, I am biased. I admit I am biased, but in that regard, I think he deserves the Hall of Fame. I mean, he took the Tigers and they were a horrible, horrible team, and he turned them around like that. I mean, he won his World Series with the Marlins. Granted, the owners of the Marlins probably bought that World Series. Yeah, 3-time manager of the year. I mean, he couldn't close the deal with the Pirates, even with Bonds. But, man, he was respected by his teams. Now, I don't know if the World Baseball Classic counts or not when it comes to these, but, like, he finally got Team USA to a World Baseball title. So I want him to get in. I hope he gets in. At the end, I want to give my ballot, and I hope he's on, like, he's going to be on the ballot. Ed Montague, I didn't see him coming. I thought Bruce Froemming is a much stronger umpiring candidate than Ed Montague. I think they threw Ed Montague on here just so they could have 2 umpires, and he's one of those toss him outs right away. So he's on the ballot. I bet you he gets less than 3 votes as well. Hank Peters, again, He's the only one on this ballot that has passed away. I think he passed away in 2000. It's either 2005 or 2015, not too long ago. Again, he won the pennants he was very famous for his time at Baltimore, turned that team around. Then again, he went on and turned around the Indians as well into the 90s and made him great. And he also was a general manager and like helped build great franchises of the Oakland A's. So a very well-respected, kind of under the radar pick there with Hank Peters in the committee. Lou Piniella, he just missed it by one vote last time it was on the ballot. So again, very similar to Jim Leyland. I mean, he's 17th all-time in wins, 1,835. He obviously took 1990, took the Reds to the World Series. Also a 3-time manager of the year. Very good player as well. Lifetime 291 hitter. Again, famous for that 77-78 being on the Yankees as well. Again, Joe West. Everyone knows about Joe West. I mean, yeah, everyone else knows about Joe West. No more to say. And then there's Bill White. Bill White, again, he's just did a little bit of everything. Again, they say he is an 8-time All-Star. I'm going to qualify that to a 5-time All-Star in the sense that there were 3 All-Star games. Sorry, not 3, 2 All-Star games in 3 of the years he got until up to an All-Star. He missed a year to serve in the military. Again, he was the NL president for a while. Nothing exciting, I would say, happened with the term an NL president. Major League Baseball likes to note that when the Rockies and the Marlins came into the National League, he was president then. I don't think the fact that the Rockies and Marlins coming into Major League Baseball had anything specific to do with him being nationally president. I could have been nationally president, and I still think the Rockies and the Marlins would have come in at that time. So, but again, just an all-around baseball man. He would not be the first. And there's been people who've talked about the room when I would love to be a fly in the wall in that room. But people have been in that room and when they talk about these players, they talk about a body of work. They even talk like how Jim Cott, it didn't hurt him that he was like an announcer for a long time after his playing career. Granted, I think his playing career alone justified him to finally get in the Hall of Fame. So Bill White's 89 years old. I tried to Google him just to see if there's any reaction from him. I haven't heard from him in a really long time. He did do the show circuit for a little while. Back in like 2008, I want to say he's just doing the show circuit for a while. Haven't seen him since, been kind of quiet and off the grid. So moving from that, I want to talk a little bit about the autographs. So I have 6 of the, hold on, I'm going to share my screen now. So before we get started, I have 6 of the 8 autographs. The ones I don't have is Ed Montague and Davey Johnson. And I would be shocked if they get more than 3 votes each. I really would. Either of them get more than 3 votes each, I'll be shocked. In addition, I do have Cito Gaston. I didn't pull him out. I don't even have Cito Gaston listed on my photo bucket in the Hall of Very Good. I think it's kind of a joke. I think he was just getting thrown in there. The only reason why I have his autograph is way back when I used to do in-person autographing at Tiger Stadium. He came out and signed at the side of the dugout with the Blue Jays. Again, the Blue Jays were an amazing team. I remember I got Pat Henkin, and I'm like, oh, wow, and all these, like, did Pat Henkin win the Cy Young? So anyways, yeah, I got all these. I got, like, all these in an autograph album. Cito Gaston's one of them in there, and I really went to look for him. So, but one of seeing Hank Peters on the list, and we'll talk about his autograph a little bit more, but I have it right here. It's in a little thing. So, I remember reading about, and I scout, like I said, people I think will be the Hall of Fame. And Hank Peters was one of those general managers I thought, like, you know what? Maybe he'll get in one day. And so I always had him on my search list on eBay. He doesn't come up very often. And so like you can see right here, and I'll pull it up more later, is a signed business card. He actually signed it twice, signed it on the front and by the back, so it's a dual signature if he gets in. But again, we'll get the autographs. None of these guys are expensive. Don't pay a lot of money for any of them. Even if they get in, don't pay a lot of money. They're around. Okay, I'm going to share the screen, talk about the autographs. Let's see who's up first. First, we have Jim Leyland. Again, Jim Leyland is still around Detroit a lot. You can see this little stain right here. I swear he was smoking a cigarette right before he signed this autograph. This was in 2007. I got his autograph at a private signing here in Detroit. He's still around a lot. Really, really nice guy. If you see him, guarantee you he'll sign an autograph. He lives in Perrysville. Again, he still works for the Tigers, scouts for the Tigers, bounces around minor leagues, bounces around Tiger Stadium, spring training, So I first chain smoker like he is, he's in pretty good health. So a little bit like a Sparky Anderson to me, reminds me of that. He looks older than he is. Next one up again, as like I talked about, is Hank Peters. Again, I got this. God, I got this autograph. I want to say at least 5-6 years ago, hoping that he would get in because he was just such a hard autograph to find, and I really thought he was deserving of consideration. So when I saw his name on the list, I was like, yes, I got his autograph. I got it before. If he gets in, it's going to be double what I paid for it, which is like $20. So actually, maybe a very expensive autograph if he gets in, but I don't think he will. I think he's just on there to have a nice executive in there. Bill White is an interesting story. So in 2008, I went to a show in Chicago, and Bill White was supposed to be there, and he canceled last minute for whatever reason. I don't know. So he's been on my radar for a while. And then when I read the change in the ballots, and I can find the YouTube video, they changed the committees last year. I knew almost instantly that, like, whoa, this guy's got a shot to get in based on like just reading what they're looking for, contributions. Like Bill White, like checks a lot of boxes, not one huge box, checks a lot of little boxes. So TriStar had this one. It's TriStar authenticated. It's good. I mean, I talked to Jeff Rosenberg even about it, and it's inscribed. You can see right here, NL President 89 to 94. I think the ball was $100. So again, you could buy a check on eBay right now of his for $40. So I mean, it's not a rare autograph. I just thought this was kind of unique, and so for like $100, I'll take a chance, and I think he's going to get in, to be honest with you. Lou Piniella, again, I got Lou Piniella a long time ago. He's been on my bucket. He's been on my radar. He's been on a lot of people's radars list for a while because he was one vote short. Getting like he was like I think one of the highest wins that hadn't been inducted to the Hall of Fame. So like again, won a World Series. Everyone knew about Lou Piniella. He still does shows. He's doing shows coming up. So again, I think I read the fact that he's like doing another show, but he won't sign Hall of Fame until the ballot comes out. Like something like that. Because he already announced his next show, and I think it's going to be even before the ballot's announced. So again, still doing the circuit, very active. He hates signing, but for the money, he's going to do it. And then, of course, there's Country Joe West. Again, Joe West, I got this ball in person at Comerica Park. I've talked about this before. He inscribed the ball 5-2-8-2 because that was the 5,282nd game that he ever managed. And after every game he passed, he would put the next game in. So this was right after the game. So the game before that was 5-2-8-1. So, I mean, Joe West has been really, really like paying attention to his Hall of Fame stats. As a matter of fact, he sued, was it Paul Lo Duca and won? That Paul Lo Duca made a claim that, God, I want to say Tom Glavine or someone bought him a car in order for him not to call better balls and strikes. And Joe West sued him. He's like, this is going to hurt my chances for getting in the Hall of Fame. And he's right. If he was convicted of that and he sued and he won, I don't know if he like sued for a significant amount of money or just the judgment he was suing for, but regardless, he did sue. He did win. So anyways, my ballot, I get to vote for 3 because I think there's 3 deserving candidates on here. The most deserving, probably Joe West, Lou Piniella, and Bill White. I'm sorry, Jim. Jim, I think you're next. You're the next manager to get in, assuming Baker and Bochy don't retire in the next 3 years. So when this next ballot comes up, I can see Jim Leyland being on it again. Similar, like Pinella's been on this ballot like 3 or 4 times. It's got to be killing him. Just becomes so close every time. So I think he's done enough to get in. So, and again, Bill White, 89 years old. I mean, hopefully he's still alive and well. And if he gets in, which I think he will, he can attend the ceremony. Joe West is just, it's interesting. I mean, they put umpires in. They've already set the precedent for him to get in. So, like, they put Bill Clement for managing the most games in the most World Series. And, like, they put, like, Al Barlick in and most recently Doug Harvey. I mean, Joe West could be the last umpire ever to get in the Hall of Fame. Maybe Ebbett Ashford for breaking the color barrier for umpires. But I could see Joe West getting in, and like that's it. They close the book on umpires after that. So curious who you think will get in. If you want to put your 3 at the bottom, let me know. That being said, I think only 2 people are going to get in because unless they get together and they coordinate votes, which I think is what happened when they got like the last ballot in with Jim Codd and who else was on that. Not Dick Allen, obviously, but whatever. When that one went out, they got 3. Gil Hodges was another one, and there was a third. It's not coming to me at the top of my head, which is Oliva. When those 3 got in, I think they kind of manipulated the ballot. They talked, you vote for this, you vote for that. If they do that again, they'll get 3 in. If not, I would only expect 2 players to get in. So it should be a very exciting announcement. That's like the most exciting day of the year for me. This is number 2. That's number 1. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you're still here. And as always, keep collecting.